Hello, good evening. This is Bini here. Can you guys see my screen and hear me? If you can, please let me have a yes. Okay. Yes at the chat. That's great. Okay, James. James, why are you here? James, have you taken my calls already? Okay. Thanks a lot for supporting. All right, I would be starting the session here. They are via Zoom and concurrently being streamed into YouTube so that you can have the recording after I finish the session. Today, I just want to talk about wash and rinse with the objective to share with you more about wash and rinse. I know that I've shared a bit, right, in the recent MarketWise summit, but I know that you have a lot of questions, so I wasn't able to answer them. So today I will focus on answering the questions on especially how you can get the full cost rebate at that cashback, and then how you can learn wash and rinse as well. Okay, so let me just go through the disclaimer. Whatever that I'm going to cover today will be purely educational, and this is me. If you had attended my other session with SGX or my own physical session last time when I was doing Terra Seeds, then you have known me. Okay, now I'm doing a lot of online training, a lot of institutional based training, and as well as developing trading system, trading platform, etc. Okay, so these are basically what I'm doing apart from also training and trading as well. If you like to know my trading profile, okay, because I think that this is important, especially for those who are interested to explore day trading. Okay, why do I say day trading? It's not that you have to be stuck on your screen, right, by the day and every day, every minute. You can do that after your work, but I'm just sharing with you that there are times where the stock market is attractive. There are times where it is not. All right. So I think that we should be trading with multiple instruments. For example, because of the conflict in Middle East, then gold has been moving very well. It's one of the best performance. And if you take a look at, for example, the TAW system, we were able to pick up gold as the trade that you want to focus on. For example, recently the US indexes hasn't been doing very well. We were able to short that. Okay, that means to sell it and make a profit. So this is me in the morning. I will usually be up at about 6:10. So that's where I need to send my children to school, and then at about 7:15 I should be off exercising. Why I want to exercise or why I need to exercise, because actually the day is quite long for me, because it's all the way until about 11 plus 12 and sometimes 12:30. So I like to really use this opportunity to to free my mind. But a lot of my trade is really on automations, and this is something that I would like to show it to you. Why is it automation? Because I think that there are so many things to trade, and there are so many different instruments that you want to focus on, right? And it is just impossible to do it just, using humans, right? So I think that there should be a lot more automations to help us, and this is what I've designed for my students as well. So I've designed these tools for my customers. I've used it for myself, and I also share it with my students as part of the program. Okay, so in the morning, I'll be doing into the futures, the Singapore futures, and then into the Singapore Hong Kong stocks. And in the afternoon will be for Forex and indexes. So I do trade into quite a lot of instruments, like for example, Forex indexes, gold, oil, and other commodities, etc. Right? And I'm a 4-hour trader, and that's probably will tell you the triggers that I'm using. Triggers means that what is the time frame that I'm triggering my trade. It's actually a 4-hour trigger, and most of the time I will take profit if I'm lucky on the very same day, if it moves very fast, or if not, then it would be over a few days. All right. It's not as if I want to hold on the position for long, but this is really what our method is about. That means that we probably have a trade, right, that's going to carry through a few days at most. If not, we are lucky enough to close it on the very same day. Okay. Now, today, the content would be to show you what is wash and rinse in further depth. But I have to be very frank with you, all right? This is almost like an introductory session. It's to let you know what a wash and rinse is about. Never, and I don't have enough time for it, right? That you would be getting the full thing. Okay, I don't think that just an hour or 1.5 hours, you're able to get the full thing. Right, so I just want to pinpoint to you what's important and how we trade that. Not only in Forex, in indexes, or even in stocks. And I also want to let you know how good wash and rinse is, and then how you can get the full fee refund. That means the cost fee is 1,200, and how you can get back the 1,200. And it's not a gimmick, it's not a scam. And many of my students, in fact, all my students have actually gotten that. Okay. All right, so what is wash and rinse? Let me just ask you a question, and this was one of the charts that I've presented many times, and I thought that you'll be familiar to you. Can I just ask, right, at the green arrow, that means that somewhere at this green arrow here, all right, this is the green arrow, right? What are you likely to do? Meaning that are you more likely to buy or more likely to sell? Can I have like some response from at the chat side? Are you more likely to buy or more likely to sell? Okay. Well, why is that so? I think you saw that this was a resistance, and then this one was a resistance, and then price stayed at the support, right? And then another was support, and you saw that there was a confirmation of that candlestick, which is basically what we learned in the textbook. That means that in the textbook, these are things, right, that you are likely to learn. Okay, these are what that's being taught. But have you realized that sometimes when you follow the textbook, it just doesn't work out? That means that you read the textbooks, or you read about websites or YouTube videos, and then you find, oh yeah, this is a fantastic strategy, and they will tell you that how much money they made, right? When you really try it, instead of it actually going up, what it did was it went down. Okay, that means that instead of, this was the point here, so this was that point which I've drawn. Okay, so this was the point, right? So it went up a little bit, and you realize that you went pong all the way down. And no matter where you put your stop loss, okay, whether you put a stop loss at the low or you just put slightly lower, etc., right, you will flush your stop loss, and then you will move up like nobody's business. And after you are being stopped out, okay, and it just moved all the way up. Have you tried this before? After you are being stopped out, and it just moved all the way up like nothing ever happened. Anybody had this experience before? Yeah. Okay, that's good. I won't say is that is good. I just want to bring to your attention, all right, is because I work with a lot of people who are doing systems, all right. In fact, that these are very large institutions, and their programming are not based on textbooks. Okay, sometimes the logic is just deviated from what you learned in the textbook. Okay, I can't review what they are doing, okay, but I can only assure you that whatever that's in the textbook will not be too relevant to them. That means whatever that is being taught to you guys are not relevant to them, because that's really outdated. Okay, now what to explain why this support, okay, doesn't work was, if you look back a little bit on hindsight, and I want to repeat on hindsight, right, that, oh yeah, perhaps they are looking at this particular support here. So the market was looking at this support here, and therefore the previous support that's very, very well known and very well established, it just doesn't work. The market flush it down and then rinse it back up, and therefore this is the true support. And you will end up like, oh yeah, why didn't I think about that? Okay, but my question to you is that, is there a methodology to tell you specifically that actually after you're being stopped out, you can enter, okay, to get back the money? I'm not saying that you will not be stopped out. I'm saying that, do you know how to counter to enter that trade? And this is what precisely wash and rinse is all about. This is what precisely the TAW system is all about. Okay, that means that we don't assume that you will not be stopped out. In fact, that perhaps that maybe like 50% of the time, or even like 40% of the time, you will be stop out, okay? But after you're being stop out, at least you know a way to enter. So this is the first objective. And second objective is that for the TAW system, because of the unique design, it lets you buy at the bottom, all right, and sell at a high, such that your reward to risk ratio, which is otherwise your profitability ratio, is going to be very high. So let me just explain how it's being done. Okay, so what is the meaning of washed? A wash is actually a fake move, all right, often resulting in a loss. Okay, a rinse would be a move that move in your subsequent direction, in the original direction, and the result is that the retailer lose money, and to find that they were initially correct, but because of that wash and rinse action, it actually rinse them out of that profitable trade. Okay, and it's very often, because you have to understand that automations allow a lot of key levels to be already pre-seen or pre-programmed, so that a lot of things can happen around that location. Okay, so for example, when you take a look at the pattern of wash and rinse, all right, I know that during the session, the summit session, right, I covered on the sell pattern. So today I will be covering on the buy pattern, okay, and take a lot more questions should you have. So the whole idea is that in the wash and rinse, you assume that when you buy, you always have to buy low. So this is the first assumption. Likewise, when you sell, you always have to sell high. Now, when you assume that you have to buy low, it means that the current bar, that means that it means this one, the current bar, all right, is below, has to close below, or has to trade below the previous bar. Okay, so this is the key assumption. Now, only when the current bar trades below the previous bar, then you're going to say that, oh yeah, I managed to buy low. Okay, how is that so? For example, I have one bar here and another bar here, right? Only when the second bar, the new one, trades below the previous bar, then you can say, okay, it's fallen a little bit. I am able to buy lower. Same thing, if let's say the current bar goes lower than the previous bar, oh, you say, okay, now I have another more chance to buy even at a lower price. And if it continue to go down and continue to go down, this is where you're going to get even cheaper and cheaper. Okay, so this is the assumption of the wash and rinse for the buy side. Okay, the sell side will be the reverse, right? So in this case here, because the current bar closed, okay, I repeat, closed below the previous bar, then we are able to draw in what we call a wash line. So this is a WL, we call this a wash line. So what is a wash line? Wash line says that if the current bar, okay, so this is the current bar, traded at a closing price, that means the closing price is below the previous low, we are able to draw simply a horizontal line. All right. Now, as long as price trades below this wash line, then we assume that it is bearish. However, if price doesn't trade below the wash line, instead that it goes up and trade above the wash line, then we say that whoever who sold here or who decided to short here, right, they would be wash and rinse when the rinse bar happen. All right. Okay, now see the wash line as a divider. That means the wash line is a divider. Anything that's below the wash line is going to be bearish. Anything that's above the wash line would be bullish. All right, okay, so that would be the simplified concept. But of course, there are a lot more. As I mentioned, there's a time limitation for me to explain everything. Okay, now in this case here, maybe perhaps you will ask me, then does it mean that wash and rinse only consists of two candles or two bars? The answer is no. Wash and rinse can have many bars. For example, I can have, for example, a wash line here, and then we can have a wash bar. All right, today I will focus on the buy pattern, right? And price stay here, stay here, stay here for as many bars as possible, as long as it trades below the wash line. But only when it rinse back up, then it becomes a completed wash and rinse pattern. All right, okay, so it can be applied in whether it is a week chart or month chart, or whether it's a day chart. But in trading, in day trading, we have a very specific time frame to apply. Okay, so don't ask me what time frame, because that will be included in the the trading, the cost itself. But a lot of time when we trade, in order to make sure that we get that explosive movement, that means that in order to make sure that we are not getting the 10 points, 20 points, like for example, in the Dow Jones, we have about 1,000 points, right? Then we have to always use the higher time frame as a reference and fine tune to trade that trade in the lower time frame. So it's always to cascade and to trade into multiple time frame. Okay, now let me just explain into the sell pattern. The sell pattern, same thing, as long as the current bar, which is this bar here, is higher, close higher than the previous bar, we are able to draw in the wash line. So this is the wash line that we can draw. Okay, so that's WL. So as long as price can stay above the wash line, then this becomes a bullish scenario. Okay, but when would the rinse happen? The rinse will happen if price doesn't stay above the wash line, it closes below the wash line. Okay, so then you're gonna find that whoever who bought here above the wash line, once the rinse happen, they will regret their action. Why is that so? Because they bought at the high. Okay, but when the rinse happen, what happened then? It means that whatever they bought at the high now became cheaper. Okay, now same thing for the bearish signal. There can be multiple bars between the wash and the rinse bar. The key idea is that when the rinse bar happen, these will complete the wash and rinse pattern. Okay, all right, so I've explained until here. Any question? Any question you might have, you can ask me in the YouTube chat or in the Zoom chat. I'm just gonna pause here to ask whether you do have any questions. Does it happen back to back? No, not really. Back to back means that one after the other one, right? No, because there can be multiple bars in it. So when do we enter after the rinse bar? We don't enter after the rinse bar. We enter inside this rinse bar, okay, in the lower time frame. All right. So as I said, right, our entry is always in the lower time frame. That means we fine tune and cascade in the lower time frame. Okay. And as I said, right, I'm a 4-hour trader. That means we use the 4 hour to make an entry. Okay. And I'm very frank to you guys. I can't explain exactly how it's being entered because it takes quite some time. Okay, so these will go back to the cost. That means you have to take the cost and you know precisely where is the entry. All right, okay, so let me just continue. So we don't wait for the rinse bar to complete. No, you don't wait for the rinse bar to complete because that would be too slow. Okay, because the rinse bar can be very long bar. Why is that so? You have to understand the logic of wash and rinse, right? Wash and rinse means that there's a lot of rejection, a lot of regret. Okay, for example, if you bought at the high price here, when price had been specially pushed up, and when the rinse happened, right, there will be a lot of fear, a lot of regret because people just happen to buy such a high price. So when it comes down, it can be very, very long bar. So we can't afford to wait for that rinse bar to complete. Okay. And this is also the reason why, right, a lot of our trades, the profit ratio, that means the win, the amount of money that you win, right, versus the loss is very high because we fine tune to trade, right, inside that rinse bar. Okay, all right, so let me just show you an example of our trade. For example, this week, let me just ask you, is the US indexes doing well, up or down? Do you know? Okay, down, right? And another question, did you guys manage to short the US indexes last week? Yeah, okay. Now, why I ask this question is because a lot of time, it's not that the method is not good, okay? A lot of time is that you are simply not aware of it. That means that you are simply not notified. We cannot be always, right, letting letting trainers or for example Alex, right, to update you guys on a Friday, okay? Because a lot of signal can happen on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, for example. And this is why I emphasize on looking for trades, because I realize that when you are able to know what type of trades that you're looking at, or when you have the trades being pushed to you, then you know that these are my options. You are not in a hurry to trade bad trades. Okay, because remember, one bad trade is equal to 3 wrong trade. Because when you are one bad trade is equal to 3 right trade. Because when you are wrong, you tend to be very depressed, and then you are likely going to miss the next few good trades coming up. Okay, so what I did, right, is to design this dashboard that whenever there is a signal in the lower time frame, for example, this is a 4-hour trigger. So every 4 hour, they would have a trigger if there is a signal. Okay, now what happened is that this dashboard would monitor real time, for example, on all these trades that you key in. I know that you only see Forex here. There will be one more section that sees the cryptos and the indexes, the gold and the oil, etc. Okay, now focus on these yellow trades, those which are yellowish. Now it means that this trade happened 13 minutes ago. Okay, so exactly when it happened, it will pop up. And then when you show 0.01, it means that this trade happened 1 minute ago. When it shows 0.10, it happens 10 minutes ago, and this one happens 13 minutes ago. So we had a sell, okay, in Aussie dollar 13 minutes ago. All right. Now, why was there a sell in Aussie? That's because the US dollar strengthened. All right. Now, there is a relationship between Forex and stocks. Okay. And it's not that, for example, when you are doing stocks, you don't need to look at other things. Okay. For example, the market right now is concerned about you. 10-year you keeps going up and keeps hitting that 5% or near to 5%. But do you know that when the U goes up, one very key interesting index is moving very closely with the U, and that is dollar index. Now, why is that so? Because when people wants to buy bonds, right, or when US has the hint that it is going to raise rate, then of course that the dollar will move up. So I have the chart above here, which is dollar index. You realize that when the dollar index is at the high, the U is actually at the high too. Okay. When the dollar index at the high, the U at the high. Okay. Now when the U is at the when the dollar index is at the low, the U is at the low. Okay. It had a low point. So this is a very strong correlation at this point of time. I won't say at this point of time. In fact, that last year, that correlation came in very strongly. So whenever there's anything to do with the U, all right, we were able to track that to the US dollar. In other words, right, once we take a look at the dollar index, we sort of can sense, all right, what is happening to the U and then what is happening to the stock market, for example. Okay, so what happened this week, okay, because this one was on the 25th of October, right, at the 10 p.m. alert, which was just yesterday. So what happened this week was that the dollar index bounced off a support. Okay, so when the dollar index bounced off the support and when the dollar index went up, the U went up, the stock dropped. And at the same time, we use opportunity to trade into the Aussie dollar, Euro dollar, or pound dollar. Why? Because we basically buy the dollar, USD went up, we bought the dollar, okay? All right. And when something goes up, then the other one, which is, for example, Aussie, will come down, okay? So overall, Aussie is down, dollar is up. So in this case here, we went short the Aussie dollar. Okay. Actually, when we are trading in the Forex, you do not need to know which one goes up, which one goes down. We just follow this one. The type is a sell. So we will be doing a sell. Okay. And the sell signal happens at 0.6338. Okay. 13 minutes ago. Of course, you will receive it when you see it. All right. It's just that when I captured the chart, it was 13 minutes ago. Okay, now let me just show you how the trade happened. What happened to that trade? Okay, so this was where it goes. Okay, so this is a 4-hour chart. I'm showing exactly our system. That means that when you look at our trade, right? So this is exactly the system, and it's very, very, how to say, systematic. Okay, why do I say that? Now, if you learn about support resistance, right, you know that this was a resistance, and then when it comes inside here, this was a resistance. Okay, now take a look at what happened, right? The market is so nasty, and it happens whether to stocks or whether to Forex. They were being pushed up, okay? Priced, pushed up, all right? And then what happened next? Okay, they hit into resistance, and then price immediately slammed down. Okay, so our signal to short was here. This was that signal. And when that signal happens, the dashboard, which is the chart that you saw here, right? Let me just, okay, here, which is the chart that you saw here, would light up and tell us that, hey, look, at 10 p.m. or at 9 p.m., all right, there was a signal that happened. There was an alert. Quick, go and have a look. All right, go and check it out, so that you don't go and miss the trade, or even if you decided to pass it, at least you know that there was an opportunity. Okay, so we had that trade, right, last night for Aussie dollar to sell it, and it was a wash and rinse. And this morning when I extracted the chart, it moved down very nicely on a 60 pips. Okay, pips is how we measure Forex, on a 60 pips, right? Now, why is it that I want to encourage a lot of people to consider trading Forex? Is that when you are looking at stocks, even though, yes, you can buy a stocks, just one share, but sometimes you said, one share, not a lot, you know, even if you make it, right, it's not very significant. Okay, but when you are trading in, let's say, Aussie versus dollar, you can have the option to have a very small trade size. For example, you just trade the micro. That means you can downsize until it's very small, or you can upsize until it's huge. Let's say, for example, if you downsized to the smaller size, which is a micro lot, then the margin that requires, that means the amount of deposit that you require to trade into, for example, this pair Aussie dollar, is about $15, okay? 15 USD, 1.5. Right. If you make, for example, last night when the alert came until in the morning when I extracted that, right, 60 pips, then you will be making about $6. This is how much you will make. Now, but should you be a little bit more comfortable, okay, then you can trade what we call a mini lot, okay? And the margin that requires will be $150 plus minus around there, and the profit that you make will be $60. And if you want to be a little bit more aggressive, then you can trade the standard lot, which is about 1,005 as your margin. That means your account needs to have 1,005, and the 60 pips movement is going to be a $600. Or even more, even so, if you want to trade 10 standard lot, then it will be a 6,000. Okay, so this is where I really think that one should expand on the instruments that they are looking, because not always, right, that a particular instruments would move very nicely. There are certain times that some instrument move very nicely, certain time that it doesn't move very nicely. And if you can have that choices, then you can be sort of assured, right, that at least, you know, every moment, I won't say every day, right, every moment you're going to have opportunities to take up, and not only to just wait for that single thing. Okay, all right, any question here? Any questions from those in YouTube? Okay, if not, just move on. Okay, so this was what we had in pound dollar and euro dollar at the same time. Okay, I want you to focus a little bit. I want you to focus on the wash and rinse pattern. All right, for example, let's take a look at what happened to euro dollar. Same thing, euro dollar had a resistance here. So this is your RR, right? And then do you see that this bar was being pushed up? That means it was a very long white color bar, okay? And what happened to the next bar? It just moved the other side. It's almost like to tell people that, okay, there was a breakout of this resistance, okay? But immediately after trapping people were trapped, right? and induced to buy, it turns the other side and poop. Okay, and off it goes, right? And we do have our short opportunity here. That means that last night, apart from receiving the trade on Aussie dollar, we received the trades on euro dollar short, on pound dollar short, and they moved all very nicely because overall, the dollar was up yesterday, and hence the stock market was down. Okay, because of the fear of the rising yield again. Okay, any question here? Seems all good, huh? Okay. Now, if you have no question, let me just go through the short in the S&P 500 that we did recently. Okay, S&P 500 that we did this short. If you had noticed on S&P 500, what happened was that there was a massive shoulder, head, and the right shoulder. I didn't capture the left side. And our initial short, right, was at the top of the right shoulder. That means that this was our initial short. It's the same pattern, isn't it? That means, you see, there was a bit of a resistance here, very clear resistance, right? And see that price actually pump up. You see that long bar here, price pump up. Okay? And then after that, it turns the other side. And that is the place where we had the short. Now, then again, when price push up again, right, a lot of people thought that it was a buy. For us, no, okay? Because what we did was that, you see, focus on this red color arrow here. Okay, of course, we have this green color arrow. I'm not saying that we didn't manage to, I'm not saying that we might not be caught, okay? We might be caught here, but luckily we wouldn't because I was guiding the students. I kept telling the students that the resistance was very, very near, okay? But as I said, right, each bar is a day bar. So even if we had bought in here, okay, at this long bar here, we would have just bought in the middle or slightly halfway of that bar, okay? So this one I can assure you, right? But when it goes up, okay, let me just clean this. But when it goes up, you realize that it was a very typical wash and rinse, right? Price goes up in the long bar. After that, right, it rinses back down. See that red color arrow tick here. So that was our signal for that short to happen, and off it goes. Okay, so we did quite a very nice short here on Dow Jones, on S&P 500, and especially on Russell 2000, because Russell 2000 was the index that I was most bearish about. And here we go, we had a short at this place here, and a very nice short using the TAW system. Okay, so there is a question from YouTube: will the cost cover how to time the exit of the trade so that we can maximize profit? Yes, it will. And in fact, that later on I will showcase the automations that we have. Not only that it will help you time, but you will also manage the trade for you. Okay, I think that that automation is most important. Okay. All right. Any question here on the recent trade? If not, I want to go over to Tesla. Anybody trading stocks? When will the red tick appear? Is it a moving target? The signal, that means the ticks and the arrows will never repaint. Okay, repaint means that will it craft a new one as it goes? No, once it's there, it will stay there. All right, it won't repaint. Okay, all right, very good. So we have people trading stocks. I'm also doing stocks, but I mean, I'm after money, so I trade whichever that's simplest. Okay, I don't just love one, all right? But I just want to showcase on Tesla how you can avoid the 15% loss in Tesla. Here we go. Okay, so this is the chart on Tesla. All right, now this is the weekly chart. I just want to ask you guys, all right, that if you follow Tesla, okay, and you probably know what happened to Tesla, okay? But I just want to ask you guys here, right, just on some typical textbook thing, right? In the short term, you realize that there was a low, a high, a higher high, okay, and a higher low, right? And a higher low, right? Agree? Okay, now my question to you is this. Let me just clean this one. Okay. My question to you is this, right? When you look at what is happening to Tesla, some people might be drawing in like a support level here, like this. Okay. And when price moves up and you saw that price slightly came down here, right? Okay. My question is this, at this point here, at this bar here, let me just bring the pen. At this bar here, right? Are you more likely to buy? My question. Or sell? If you look at Tesla like this, okay, are you more likely to buy or to sell? I'd like to know for those people who are looking at sell, why? Because if you look at a typical candlestick pattern, right? So this green color bar had a close above the previous high. It's a typical candlestick pattern. And if I were to just draw in a Fibonacci retracement, for example, from the low to the high, right? It came to that 62% and it should be actually going up. All right? And you have a upward going structure. That means you have this nice, uptrending structure here. Why are you looking for a sell? Okay. Now, sometimes it's very difficult to judge whether it is a buy or it is a sell. Okay, because I have to be very frank with you. Okay, but if you apply in the candlestick pattern, okay, there is a high chance that you think this is a buy. Okay, but for us, it's different. What we do is that we ask ourselves, okay, if there was a bearishness. Remember when I talk about wash and rinse, let me just go through the wash and rinse again, right? When I talk about the wash and rinse pattern, here we go, right? When we talk about the wash and rinse pattern, right? There is, in order for us to buy, okay, in order for us to buy, right? There's always this wash bar that needs to trade, that will close below the previous low, wash bar. And for us, we will only regard, okay, a buy signal to happen. That means a rinse to happen, right? Only if price can close up above the wash line. Why is that so? Because we see this down bar as a bearish move. Okay, so in order for us to be convinced that it is a buy, then price will need to close and trade above that previous bearish movement. Okay, so the wash line is like a divider. So previously price had a close below the previous low. We need to price to actually close back up. So this is the whole idea of the buy setup. Okay, now coming back to Tesla, same thing, right? Do you see this bar here? This bar, price had a close below the previous low. Agree? Okay, that means that I'm able to draw in a wash line here. Okay, so this is my wash line. Let me just get the maniac to stick it nicely. So this is the wash line. Okay, and usually for wash line, I like to make it like a magenta color. So this is the wash line here, right? Okay, so what happened is that price had a wash because price closed below previous low, right? So in order to say that it is bullish, okay, it is bullish, price must close up above this wash line. Because whoever who shorted here, that means if they shorted, right, in order to buy, right, they must be above it so that whoever who shorted here will feel the maximum pain. Okay? Now, if you apply just purely a candlestick pattern, you would think that your buy appears here. Let me just switch that into a green color. You will think that a buy appear here because then you are being taught, right? When price close above the previous high, so this is a buy. For us, no, it must close above this red color wash line. That means it must trade above it so that you will complete the wash and rinse pattern. Now, for those who are looking for sell, perhaps, you would have realized that there was a very long trend line here in Tesla. Okay, right? And that could be one of the reasons that you are looking for a sell. Yeah. So what's wrong with this is a weekly chart, because even if this is the weekly chart, when you flip that into a day, the end result is the same. The day never closed above the wash line. Okay. Now, in fact, that if you know what is wash and rinse, you would have drawn all this in the weekly chart. Okay. And when you flip back down, we would be looking for a sell when it's below this green wash line, because that's our sell signal. That means that we avoided a long signal, a buy signal. In fact, that when it came back down, we had a sell signal. Okay, so I just want to show you what happened. Right? That means I will just do the playback. Just give me a minute. So for those who are familiar with it, right, you realize that, okay, Tesla boom, down. Okay, now when you flip that into the day chart, all right, so in fact that we were able to have a sell somewhere around here, and that gotten us the trade in Tesla. Okay, so I'm sharing with you because different instrument has a different nature. It doesn't mean that, for example, stocks, we use a day or we use hourly. For us, we have a fixed structure. In fact, I would like to share with you, for stocks, we use a weekly chart, and that has been really, really very profitable for us. And our trigger was a day. But when you use into indexes and Forex and etc., then our trigger happens to be in a 4-hourly chart. That would be a lot more profitable. You need to know the right time frame to trigger into the chart, into the instrument that you are trading. Not all the instruments has one standardized trigger in terms of time frame. Okay, all right. Okay, so that's to demonstrate how why for example, if you use the traditional candlestick pattern, right, you would have gotten into the long Tesla. For us, no, we would have avoided that long Tesla, buy Tesla, and we have actually shorted into Tesla. Okay, all right, just to share with you this one. I will continue if you don't have any other question. Okay, let's go. There was some question on the automations. Okay, there were some questions on the automations. Let me just cover that. But with this, I just like to share with you how we trade with TAW. Okay, so the entire TAW system, which is the alien wash system, right, consists of number one, the dashboard that alerts you every 4 hours, including gold. Okay, so gold is a very liquid instrument and one of the instruments that we trade very often. So we use the 4-hourly as a trigger, and the dashboard will monitor that every 4-hourly, and it will automatically be pushed to you. Okay. Now in the chart, you find there's a lot of boxes. Okay, we call this auto box because one of the emphases that we have in order to ensure that we found and we trade the most impactful signal is to make sure that we get our time frame correct. That means we trade align with what the higher time frame is showing. Okay, that means that if you find that I make a little bit only each time, okay, that's because you're probably not trading with the higher time frame, not aligned with that time frame. Time frame, it's something where a lot of people don't understand. They thought that they read a book and then they thought that this is a signal, but that multiple time frame, it's very important, and this is what we show. For example, for us, we have this indicator that draw multiple wash lines, but our wash lines are being drawn based on the day and the week and the month, because as long as we can trade alongside the higher time frame, our profitability is very high. So it is not the method, but it is how we align with the different time frame. Of course, that another indicator that we use is to draw that automated arrows or ticks. That will tell us when the wash and rinse happen, and we execute our trade via the trade manager here, okay, which is TAW. All right, now this is the dashboard, so it scans every 4-hourly and it generates signals. Okay, so highlight and focus on the one that's pop up in yellow. Okay, and then these would be the auto boxes. You realize that our method is very structured because we have all these boxes here to guide us, to know which one is the signal that we are taking. Okay, and then let me just share with you here of how we use the automations to trade. Okay, so this is where we put in what we call alone, which is a trade manager. It will automatically open the trade. That means you can be away and you just put it in, right? And define what you like to do, okay, whether you like to long or short. But if you doesn't want to define, then you will automatically detect that signal for you and to open for you, okay? And one of the things is that you will automatically add in a new position. As long as you are profitable, you will add in new position for you automatically. Okay, of course, then there is a trailing stop. That means it will trail the stop loss for you, all right, to make sure that you continue to lock in the profit. Okay, and this is very important in any case that where there are sudden things happen, right? You can't control. At least with that trailing, it will continue to trail for you. Okay, so we use this automation instead of instead of telling you what is the profit target, etc., which is done, but also we use the automation to manage the trade. So you will be and you can be using the automations to manage your trade as well. Okay, any question here? Now remember, right, this is a trade manager. What is a trade manager? It manages the trade for you. So you are supposed to decide what are the trades that you want to take based on the dashboard. Okay, and when you are not there, that means that, for example, I know that I'm going to go 6 o'clock to watch a movie with my girlfriend, right? But perhaps I have a feeling that at 6 o'clock the trade is going to come. So what you do at 3 o'clock is to put the trade manager inside already. And with that trade manager, when it comes to 6 o'clock, if there is a signal, it will open that signal for you, open that trade for you, so that you don't need to be there physically to go and key in the trade. It will just open automatically for you. Okay, and then calculate the trade size, put in the stop loss, put in the target profit, and if you are in profit, they will add for you, okay, based on how much you want to add in terms of additional amount that you want to put in, all right, and shift the stop loss for you so that you can lock the profit. So we had advanced into a lot of automations already, so we don't really manage the trade ourselves. Okay, any question here? Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to demonstrate to you, right, how this is being done. Let's say, for example, you saw that there was a resistance level here. So this is your resistance level. All right, and you saw that this was the huge push up. Okay, so this is a 4-hour chart. This is exactly how we trade, right? So there was a huge push up and it went to the resistance. Okay, so what happened? The indicator, right, would automatically draw in this line here, which is a green color line. I like to color code my lines. Okay, that means that if it's green, I'm looking for sell. If it's magenta, I'm looking for a buy. Okay, so you know that you are not around. You know that you are not able to trade it yourself because then you're probably working or whatever, But as long as you see this green line, what you can do is you can drag this trade manager into the chart at any moment, all right, here. Okay, so you do have a nice 12 hours to drag it. Okay, so you can get up and you can on the way to your work, you can use your iPad or you can use your handphone to drag these automations, all right, into your computer, and then when the signal happens, it will automatically take the trade for you. All right. Are they potential trade scanners built in, or we have to decide on it? Because you trade according to the dashboard. So the dashboard is your scanner. Okay, let me just show you the dashboard again. This is the dashboard. Okay, so this is the scanner. So the dashboard will pop up. Okay, I'm gonna have a trade at Aussie franc. All right, then after that you can drag that in already. Or already we have a Okay, already you can see at the previous night, right, that there is this green line. So green line, you know that, okay, it's somewhere around there already, and is near to the resistance. Rather than to give up this trade, then you can just drag it in before you go to work or before you go somewhere else. Okay, so that's the total options of freedom here. I can drag for you later on to let you see. Dashboard covers FX, commodities, and certain CFDs only, not all stocks. You will have a lot of trades to trade, just by FX, CFDs, indexes. I mean, if you look at trading, day trading, okay, if you are really looking at trading, then you want to trade the index, okay? Because sometimes when you select the stocks, that stocks just doesn't move. The index will always move, okay? So from my experience, it makes sense to just monitor the few key indexes here. So you have indexes like Nikkei 225 also can trade. We also traded Nikkei 225s on the short side. And recently, you know, the German DAX, okay, also moving very well. And you have the 3 US indexes, okay, NASDAQ, S&P 500, and Dow Jones, and even Russell that you can trade. There's so many things here that you can trade. You don't need to actually specifically go to the stocks. No, you can't. You can only add CFDs of that stocks. BTC, yes. You can only add CFDs, okay? Because you don't have all the stocks available in this particular platform. Not all. Only the more popular ones like Tesla, Apple, Microsoft, etc. Okay. Okay. This one was US 500. I won't show it to you, but basically it's the same, right? So it goes like, there was a pop-up. You see, this was the gold and silver. So this was the indexes. That's the oil, and then there's BTC, and then this one as the US indexes, as dollar index. So it popped up 48 minutes ago. All right, and you can see that we do receive alerts. That means is a bullish alert, is a bearish alert, etc. Right? Okay. So what happened in that? What happened in this, we call that trade manager, right? Let me just show it to you, okay? Is that you are able to, just give me a minute. Okay, so you're able to drag it in. So you drag this in, right? And you just define how much loss that you want, okay? I mean, of course, you can go on a fixed lot size, right? But you have just say, this trade, I want to lose $500, or my risk is $500, okay? You don't even need to calculate the lot size. What you will do is that you will automatically, based on the risk of $500, all right, and the point that you want to trade, it will automatically place a trade inside, okay? That means that you define, okay, I want to sell here, all right, then you will just sell for you, okay, open up the trade, and it would key in the stop loss and the target profit for you automatically. That means that based on this, right, you will not lose more than $500. Okay, and of course, then we have certain mechanism in place inside. For example, what you see here is this interim target profit. That means that we emphasize a lot on protecting our profit. Right. So we have things like interim profit target. We will automatically lock and shift stop loss, and these are things where human are not good at. Okay, not good at. All right. There's one question on, can you find out what is the win-loss ratio if you let it auto trade for the past few years? As I said, okay, this is a trade manager. It helps you manage the trade, such as it helps you to ease your role of having to physically click the button yourself. Okay, but it doesn't remove you the need to decide what to trade. Okay, so for example, I have US 30, which is Dow Jones. I have US 500, right? You wouldn't want to open two of the same index at the same time. So some students want to trade into the Dow Jones. Some students want to trade into the US 500. So each of them has a different risk tolerance. Okay, so you are supposed to decide which one. You want to do the Dow Jones or you want to do the S&P 500. All right. So Once you have decided and you drag it in, and you will just automatically open the trade for you. But it doesn't mean that you will decide what kind of trades, okay? Decide what kind of trades is based on the dashboard, okay? So see it as your little helper. Can? Is there a paper trade option? Yes, there's a demo option. You can just open a trade as you want, okay, with fake money. No issue on that. All right. Okay. Just give me a minute too. Okay. So let me just talk about the offers here. All right. Number one is that the full price is 1,200. Okay. When you go to our website, there are two packages, or rather there are three. One is the free package, where I talk about wash and rinse. But I mean, to be very frank to you, I do not think that you are going to learn everything or the full thing by taking the free module. The free module is like the first module that everybody must take. Okay, what is required is the paid module, which is $700. Okay, not 7,000 but $700. All right. Now, what we did is that we have included, okay, a hand holding for 1 year. So these would justify why the cost fee is 1,200. 700 plus 500. So that's 1,200 for the cost fee. Okay. Now, what does this 1,200 covers? It covers the free use, the strategy. Okay, a 1 year hand holding daily, Monday to Thursday. Okay, and for 1 year, and the use of our indicators and robots, okay, which is 576, but is included complimentary inside. Now, not only that, if you take the 1,200 cost, there is this portion which is a loss cover. What is a loss cover? It means that during the first 90 days, when you start trading, your losses would be covered up to $500 Sing dollar. Now, what this means is that, let's say, within the 90 days that you start trading, because you're new, right? But yet, you don't want to do paper trade, because paper trade gives you that fake security. You want to do live, right? And anything that is a loss of $500, let's say you make a loss of $450, okay? Now, this loss would be covered. Okay, that means that the broker will refund you the loss as long as it is not more than $500. So this is, to what my students said, is a no-brainer promotion. Why is that so? Because then it literally gives you a free $500, right, for the first 90 days to go and make money if you can. All right. So the total value of this package is $2,276, but you pay net $0. Okay. Now you still pay first. Okay. I'll explain to you why net is $0. All right. Okay. Now, no, not once. You can trade 1,000 times as long as within these 90 days, right, your loss is not more than $500. Okay. So for example, let's say you make a loss of $550. Then how much would the broker cover you? You make a loss of $550. The broker would cover $500 only. You will lose lose $50. Okay. Let's say you make a loss of $400. Then how much the broker will cover you? It will only cover $400 because you make a loss of $400. Okay. So it's regardless of how many times you lose. You can lose 1,000 times as long as it's not more than $500. All right. So this is really how we bargain for our students. First, we do the hand holding for you. We hand hold you, right, within this 1 year. But during the first 3 months, we know, okay, you are very enthusiastic, but you are new. There is no way to say that you are new. I have a wonderful system. You are able to know it at one go. It's just impossible, right? There is always a need to learn. Just like, for example, why a doctor needs to do housemanship for 7 years. Why don't after university, after graduation, after studying, already go and immediately go and ask them to go and treat people? You cannot be doing this way, right? Okay. So we gave you this 90 days of a loss cover to make sure that you are familiar with it. All right. Okay. So 1,002 includes the strategy, includes the the use of the indicator for 12 months, include the hand holding, and include this loss cover. Do not take the $700 package. Why? Because it doesn't come with a loss cover. Only the 1,002 comes with the loss cover. Okay? All right? Do the robots refer to Alum? Yes. Alum is the automated one. Okay, how is this being done? Now, why was I not able to cover this chart? Because as you know, right, during the MarketWise Summit, the session was sponsored by IG. Okay. However, I also work for IG. Okay, IG is also my corporate customer. But I asked a lot of Singapore brokers. They said no. The maximum that you have to fund, the minimum you have to fund, right, is $10,000, and I give you only 300 or 200 or 100. That's the max they can give. Okay. So what I did was I went to a very good partner that I had. Okay, and it's called XE. XE is a broker in Australia. To be very frank, I've been trading with XE for about 15 years. It is one of the largest broker in UK and in Australia. All right. It also has an office in Singapore. Okay, so what happened is that you as the customer will have to pay us 1,200. All right, pay first. Okay, pay 1,200, right? Now then you will now qualify. That means that you take the course, right? You will now qualify to get that cash back. Okay, how to do that? First, you would have to fund your account minimum 5,000 Sing dollar. Whatever that I'm mentioning here, right? Not USD, Sing dollar. You have to fund your account. First, you have to open your account, okay? So it's available to former students as long as you have not taken this deal before, okay? Even if you have an existing XC account, you are XC customer. As long as they haven't given you $1,200 before in this package, as long as you hasn't taken my course before in this package, then you qualify. Okay. Now then you have to fund minimum 5,000. Can you fund more? Yes, you can do that. Okay. Then once you funded, all right, and then of course the account must come from us. So there's a unique link that you need to use, and you must tell them that look, I want to take up Terra Seeds or Beanie's promotion. You must tell them. If you don't tell them or your account doesn't come from us, it doesn't qualify. Now, then you must fulfill 2 standard lots equivalent in Forex. I will explain how this is done in 3 minutes. Okay. This is the volume requirement. You fund. And then once you have all these 3 conditions, right, all done, then you write to XE. XE would put $1,200 cash, Sing dollar, right, inside your account. Okay. So right now, your 5,000 will now become 6,002. All right? There is no limitation on when you can withdraw your 1,002. It doesn't limit you. All right? But of course, I mean, we have been running this promotion for quite some time, and I'm able to get this promotion because I have a huge volume with XE in terms of trading volume, right? I've worked with them for a long time, and our customers, our students have been really very good customers. So they are able to extend this 1,002 in cash, not credit. Okay, credit means you cannot withdraw. Cash means that it can be withdrawn. All right. So please don't abuse it. What is called abuse? Please don't fund 5,000, then you get 1,002, and then close all your account, and that's super abuse. Okay. And if you're going to do this and you're not serious, please don't take this promotion. Please don't take the course. I'd be very, very sincere with you. All right. So you only do it if you are really serious to say, okay, look, Beanie, I'm interested in this program. And 1,002 is not a lot. It's not 12,000. You make it an effort to help me get back the course fee. All right. And you even given me this loss cover of $500. I really want to learn. All right. And I don't want to abuse this. Okay. It's all in Sing dollar, SGD, not USD. Whatever money that I mentioned here, all in SGD. All right. Sing dollar. Of course, you can fund USD, no problem. You can fund USD equivalent of that 5,000. You can fund 10,000, no, not an issue. You can fund 100,000, they'd be even happier. All right. But the minimum they're asking is 5,000. You get 1,002 back plus a loss cover. So you can see the value that they are giving you is $1,700 in terms of that cash amount. All right. I am giving you plus the indicator and total value of 2,276. Okay. All right. Any other question? You can ask every of my students. All right. Every one of them will tell you that, yes, as long as they complete this process, they get the money back. Okay. Within 2-3 working days. As long as you don't go and you fulfill all these conditions, can already. All right. And they are not difficult to fulfill. Okay. So when you go to the website, there are three things. One is the free module. This is the compulsory module, but don't expect to learn the full strategy from here, and you can't get the support. All right. So I don't want to upsell you. There is no upsell in my cost. Okay. I'll be very straightforward. The only additional thing that you have to pay is that after 12 months, you have to pay for this use of the indicators and our weekly training. Okay. We still need to pay money to upgrade our indicators, to launch new robots, etc. And then we also need to have manpower and support to do our training for you. Okay, so we are collecting this yearly money. Okay, but if you don't want to use the indicators you learned and you understand already, then fine, you don't need to pay that. Okay, and I'm not asking for thousands of dollars. All right. Then the module 2 would be the $700. There's one package which is $700. Don't take that, because you can't have hands-on, you can't have the hand-holding, and you can't have the lost cover. So I repeat, take the one that's $1,002, because only with the $1,002 it comes with the lost cover. The $700 doesn't, right? Okay. Then how to get the full module is where you take the module 1 and module 2. Right, so what is in module 2, right? Module 2 includes the full suite of our indicators and our robots, the daily Telegram broadcast that send the signals to you, the twice weekly webinars, and the Facebook support group. Okay, so all these are unlimited. Plus, of course, the trade ideas that we have. All right. This is the website that you need to go to. Okay, that means you can scan, and I'm just going to copy this one to give it to you. You just go to this one here. Okay, let me just send it over here and send this over to YouTube. Okay, now this is the website, and of course we have very nice testimonial. All right, for example, Alan, he attended my course, and twice weekly except December when I'm going on holiday, right, to help the students, to update you guys what we are looking at, what you need to look at, why we continue to be short, for example, the US indexes until even starting from last week. So all these are all the things that we update you, but without charging additional money, no upsell. Okay, and the $700, because Alan took the $700, is fully refunded through a very innovative program. So he was initially skeptical. Okay, how can it be real? Right, but it is real and quite easy to achieve it. Okay, and a guide on how to do that. Okay, so this is a real offer, not a fake offer. Why is it that I want to pay a full fee? Because I don't like to count peanuts. Okay, to me, if my cost is $1,002, I will try all the way to get $1,002 for you. All right, but then a lot of students say, how can it be possible? I mean, one fine day, if I can't get $1,002 anymore, all right, then that would be really a disappointment to many people. Okay, so if you can, grab the deal earlier. All right. Okay, so some Q&A here, right? Can I renew after the end of the 12 months for your indicator support, for your robot support? Yes. Okay, you renew every 12 months. Must I pay the course fee first? Yes, you pay the course fee first. Is it suitable for newbie? Yes. But existing traders, they are also suitable, because if you find that you are trading but yet you are still not profitable, then I think that the answer is yeah. XE is super competitive. Okay, and once you join this program, your your support team, right, will not be the generic staff. Okay, because what I have arranged is a dedicated support team for you guys. Okay, so you go through the dedicated channel, not the a general chat channel, all right? And then there's a manager who will specially, and a team of ladies who will specially support you, right? XE is one of the largest largest broker in Singapore. Yes, they have an office in Singapore. Yes. Okay, so again, I repeat, take the offer, okay, because it's until 31st of October. We renew every month, okay, meaning that the broker will tell us that whether they want to continue with this promotion every month, all right? So far, we are very, very lucky. So far, we are very lucky that they are willing to renew every month, okay? But like now, I also don't know what happened to next month. So if you can, just get it. Anyway, at the end of the day, it's really no loss for you, all right? Okay, let me just show you how you can get the two standard lots being met. Okay, so this is the live system here. All right, and let me just show you the dashboard. Okay, so this is the dashboard here. All right, so all lighting up. The most recent one happens at 11 minutes ago. Right now, the time is 9:11, right? So when it 11 minutes ago, meaning that it was a 9 o'clock signal. All right. Okay, so let me just demonstrate how it's being done. Just now the signal was euro pound, right? Okay, so this is euro pound. Okay, so this is euro pound here. Is there a wash and rinse? The answer is likely yes. Okay, because we have a clear resistance here. All right, and then price was pump up and then it hits back down, right? So that's why it came with a signal. Okay, so for us, what we do is that we take this and then we drag it in, right? Because then the alert came in now. We just have to define how much that we want to lose. For example, I want to use the risk amount. Okay, I want to lose $500 for this trade. All right, and everything you can just put as standard can already. Okay, if you can open, it open because there's a risk inbuilt risk calculator. Okay, if it cannot open means that the risk, right, is too much already. Okay, and then we just have to click okay. Here we go. Okay, so it's so automatically, it's so this lot here. Okay, can you see that? So it's just so once I click it in. All right. So you can see that this is the arrow that is sold, and then it came out with this interim minimum points profit, right? So this is the minimum profit that we're gonna have. Okay, so what the robot will do is that depending on your instruction, okay, it will automatically take some profit here. Okay, you can change this. As I said, right, it is not about the success rate. This is a trade manager. Okay, trade manager means it helps you to manage the trade. So for example, it would automatically come up with the minimum, but I don't like this, okay, because I think that a very strong level should be here. Let me just shift the line. Okay, I think that a very strong level should be here at the bottom. So what I did, right, is I shifted the line so that the robot can help me manage my trade only when it reaches this level. Okay, so instead of you having to go and worry about when you go to sleep, right, whether my trade will be managed, etc. or not, right? So what you do is that you base on what you learned, you use it to manage the trade. So there is actually nothing to answer about the success rate of the automation today, okay? Because it is something to help you to make your life better. All right? Okay. Now, the question should be, then what is the success rate, right, of this method? So far, our students was able to achieve a 60 to 70% success with a high profit ratio of more than 2. Okay. Now, what is this number? What does this number means, right? Let's say, for example, when you have a 50% win, That means your winning percent is 50% and your losing trades is 50%. Okay. But when you have a high win to loss ratio, every time you make 2 and every time you lose 1, right? Then net, this is 100 and then this is 50, you make the money. So our student profile, there are a lot of working crowd. That means they're working people. All right. So they receive the alert, they get educated, they used automations, and then they trade while they were working, and they let the we call this a robot, right? Help them manage the trade themselves. Okay, that means to manage the trade route while they are working. Okay, for you, right? I think the key question to answer is that, am I really serious in doing this business? Number 2, right? Then what is my risk of doing this business? My risk means that what have I to lose? So far, with the cost refund, that means with the cashback, you basically have nothing to lose here. Okay, I think that as a trader, right, we should be looking at what is my loss. There is no method which would be 100% profitable. Am I willing to continue with this? Okay, and if I ever take up this one, do I need to plunge in like my cost fee of 60,000? All right, or 70,000? No, the cost fee is not 70,000. The cost fee is 1,200 with a lot of help and with a lot of with actually the cashback 100% to you. Okay, and also the loss cover. I think that these would be the key question to ask. Okay, one is the minimum stop loss. The stop loss is automatically determined. So this is the stop loss level here. But what the robot will do is that it will base on your defined risk. I can define as $100. I can put $50. Okay, of course that you put too little, right? They can't open the trade because not enough money. Okay. Or you can say that I want to have a fixed lot size of 0.01. I want to trade the minimum. All these are all possible. Okay. But I won't be covering in details because all this part of the cost structure, cost syllabus inside. Okay. The whole idea is that when you trade into Forex or indexes, you are able to start with $50 or even $10, or you can go like $100 or $500, up to you, or even 122, up to you. Okay. Then once you key in that number that you want, this robot will automatically open according to the predefined stop loss. Then they will calculate the lot size for you. Okay. If we lost money in these 2 standard lots, XE will cover. Okay, let me just demonstrate this to you, right? Because you have to understand. Okay, so this is a demo account, but I just want to demonstrate to you how to do that. Let's say, for example, right, just now I open already. So there are some trades here. Just never mind. We just keep it as it is. Just now I opened this 0.35, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to open in the same one here, one lot. Okay, we call this one lot. Okay, I'm just going to sell. Okay, so once you sell this, you realize that you have a loss of $26, right? You have to just click to close it. So once you close it, you will record a loss of $26, but you also record one standard lot that you have completed. Okay. Now the loss of $26, right, will be covered in the stop loss, in the loss cover, because you have $500 as a loss cover, right? Then what you do is you do it again. You sell another one standard lot, and then you have $24, right? And you close it. Okay, you close it already. Once you close, right, you realize that you would have fulfilled that 2 standard lots already. And your whatever losses, right, that you just incur, which is probably a total of $50, right, would be covered in the loss cover, because your loss cover have $500. So even when you repeat this twice, open and close immediately, you will fulfill your volume already. All right. And then once you fulfill the volume, then you're done. Basically, you fund your 5,000, you pay for the cost fee, you meet the volume, you write an email to XE, and here we go. The money goes into your account. All right. So after the 1 year, if you choose not to continue using this trade manager, means we will revert to manual trading. Yes, that's right. It's the trading account in Aussie. Just happen this one demo account is in Aussie, but you can choose any account. I recommend Sing Dollar if you're in Singapore, if you're earning in Sing Dollar. Can I just opt for the alert system without opening XE account to manage account to manage already? The answer is yes. No, you can't, because this trade manager can only work in XE. Okay, so that's number one. Number two, right? If you don't open an XE account, means that you cannot get your 1,002 back. Okay, that means that there's no cash back. All right, the cashback is provided by the broker. So if you don't want to use this trade manager, then yes, you can opt for any other account that you want. All right, so I would think that if you have too many accounts to manage, then you just convert to XE law. Yeah. Is this offer available to former students? Yes, as I mentioned, as long as you have already haven't taken up this promotion, then the answer is yes. Okay. So I have demonstrated how you can get this promotion, how you can fulfill the 2 lots volume. All right. Then please get the course before 31st of October. All right, because you can take your time to meet that volume requirement. You have 3 months after 31st of October. Okay. So that essentially means that you can fulfill until next year in end of Jan. But try not to do it too late. All right. By when must bank in the 5K within sign up? Within 90 days. Because once you take the course, right? If you want to take the refund, okay, you have to do it within 90 days. Okay. Is XE fees very competitive? Yes, it's very competitive because it's the top 10 volume in the world. When will the course be held? It's online course. Once you pay for it, you can take the course. And the support, okay, meaning that the training, the hand holding will be held every week, Monday to Thursday. And then regularly at night, I will do the night session, and that will be on a Tuesday and Thursday. Are the alerts in the form of SMS or emails? Telegram. And that's not SMS, right? But Telegram, yeah. Will you help to set up the platform or the robot on our laptop? Yes, there is a one-time free remote access. One-time free remote access that our staff can help you. After the one time, subsequent time is charged by $100. Just curious, if the course fee is free, the course fee is not free. If you look at my chart here, this one, right? I basically receive 1,002 from you, okay? And I squeeze the broker to give you that 1,002. How is that so possible? Remember when you sign for any Singapore broker, right? They say that you will receive a free share, free Apple share or free something share. Have you questioned then who pay for that money or Apple share to you? Or you go to some broker will say, okay, you introduce your friend will receive some money, you will receive some money. So basically what I did is I transfer all the money that I'm going to receive to you. Okay, meaning that I will go to the broker and say, hey, look, anyway, you want to market to them, right? You want to pay for a marketing fee, right? You have to pay $800-900 per person to do Google ads lah, whatever ads, right? That's your acquisition cost, okay? And then you might also need to pay me. So why don't you take this and then you go and refund back to the student? Then they say, okay, Bini, how much do you want to refund? Meaning that how much cut do you want to have? Let's say, for example, per student, right, it's 1,000 or 1,002. They say, how much do you want to receive? Okay, you can share with the student. I say, so troublesome. Why don't we just everything refund to them and give it to them? All right, I just take that 1,002 from my course fee, right? You just go and give them 1,002. Are you willing to take the deal? All right. Okay, fine. They take the deal. They took the deal. Of course, I have to sacrifice. In last time, our deal was 700 only. Okay, that means that they are only willing to give $700. All right. In order to push for this 1,002, I have to sacrifice a lot of things, and it makes me very angry because for 15 years I wasn't willing to sacrifice this. Okay, but in order to make sure that you get the full fee refund, 1,002, I had to make a huge sacrifice to make this become true. That's why I said, right, number one, take it before I increase the price. Okay, because like 1,002 is something that we have been selling for quite a while. Okay, and while other people keep increasing the price, I haven't done so. Because to me, if I increase the price, then we're going to go for a lot of admin stuff. I say, okay, fine. As long as I can contain the admin stuff, I just keep the price as it is, right? It's so troublesome. It's just monkey business to keep on increasing. That's my style. Second thing is that if you can take it quickly, all right? Because as I said, every month we will renew. So it's really like this month, don't know what's going to happen the next month. Okay, and you also realized, and my student also tell me, hey Beanie, sell more, sell aggressively. I say if they want to take, they take it. If they want to take, they don't take it. That's why quite a lot of students, they are quite angry with me. Why is it so? I said, your course so good, how come you are not selling aggressively? I said, if they want, they come. If they don't come, that's fine. Right. So my point is that if there's a deal that is good in front of you, take it first. Okay. Learn how to recognize a good deal is also one way to make a good trader. All right. Any other question? So I flashed the link first. Here. If you're not from Singapore, can I know where you are from? Because certain countries, right, do not allow, not eligible for the promotion. Malaysia can, okay? Yes, XC is regulated. Not by MAS though, I have to be very frank with you. It's regulated by the two largest authority, FCA in UK and Exit in Australia. They are even more stringent regulators. But as of what I tell all my students, do not fund a lot of money, okay? Even in Singapore, MF Global, being regulated by MAS, also went bust. And when Australian side pay out the money, in Singapore still haven't yet. All right? You have to transfer to an Australia account. Same thing, lor. For example, if you do the US broker, you also transfer 100,000, 200,000, a million to the US broker, right? In US. So the same thing, yeah. That's why we are making only 5,000 here. Okay. Any questions from... Yes, they have insurance cover. They bought the insurance. So far for 15 years, there hasn't been any problem. I'm withdrawing money every month, 5-figure every month for my profit. So far, the money gets into my bank account about 2 days. Or maybe today, if I give an instruction, it get there the next day. If I do it in the morning. Okay. Okay, Ken? No withdrawal fee. Oh, this withdrawal fee, right, it depends on the mode of funding. If you fund via PayNow, then no withdrawal fee, okay? But if you fund via credit card, of course, credit card is going to charge you a withdrawal fee, isn't it? If you fund via, let's say, not internet banking, wire transfer, from XE side don't have. But some banks, right, depending on which bank you're using, they will charge a international transfer fee, wire transfer. My bank doesn't charge that, all right? But some students, they mentioned was being charged, all right? So if you use PayNow, then don't have. MT4, we are using MT4. For the account opening, do I bank in Sing dollar, or is there any arrangement that allows RM transfer? So far, the currency, that means that the how to say, the tradable currency, right? The trading currency is not in RM. Okay, but what XE has is that they are able to do internet banking to a Malaysian bank, Malaysian entity. So you will not incur international transfer fee. Okay, all right. But they do not have a funding currency. That means that you do not have a trading currency, which is in RM, in ringgit. All right. So they have a trading currency which is in Sing, in pound, in all the major currency, etc., but not in ringgit. Okay. What is going to happen after tonight? Have you just signed up? Have you just paid, or some time already? You must do module 1 first. You've just paid, right? You must do module 1 first. Then in module 2, have you done module 1? You must finish module 1. Oh, completed in August. Okay. Then module 2. Then after that, have you attended our hand holding? Yeah, you have to attend our hand holding or look at the hand holding and then get familiar with the method. Then you can start trading already. Have you installed all the indicators? Then go for the hand holding. All right. So hand holding, we will talk about what to start, what to do. Then you can ask your questions, etc. Yeah. There's no coupon code. We don't have any coupon code. For 5,000 and 1,002, any minimum period we need to keep? No, don't have. There's no restriction. Really, I really gotten a very good deal for all of you. There's no restriction period. The only thing which I asked is please don't abuse it. That means that you only do it if you are serious. Because if you abuse it and we have too many people who abuse it, right, then I'm unlikely going to get the deal. Okay, so it affects me because I can't get the deal for you. It affects other students as well who are interested. Then they can't get the deal also. Yeah. Try to use alum to help you. Okay, and the seniors will help you. Are you in our Telegram? If you're in our Telegram, the seniors will be there to help you. Yeah. I mean, if there's any question, you can ask me. Just message me, then I will point you to the right direction. No? Yeah. Okay. I can only say that I hope that all of you are successful. All right. But I've been in this industry for very long. Okay. And the truth is that not all of us, okay, not all of the people are suitable to even invest. Okay. Let's not talk about trading, even invest, right? So the only thing I can do is to make sure, number 1, you get back your full cost fee. Okay. Number 2, within that 90 days, get a $500 loss cover for you. Okay. Not 5,000. Nobody give 5,000. Okay. $500 is what I can get for you. Hopefully it gets you started. All right. That's really what I can do at this moment. Okay. And then for me, as to try to impart that experience to you. But even, if you look at students, just school students, while the teacher tried their best to teach, not all of them will turn out as the best kid or best students. We do our best, okay? But not all of them will be suitable. All right? So any last question before I end the session? No? Okay. Now, a few things is that if you like to be updated with what I'm talking about, then please join my YouTube channel. Let me just see where's the YouTube channel. Here we go. So this is the YouTube channel here Click on that. I have very nice smart picture here. All right, and then you are, for those in YouTube, you are already in my YouTube channel. Okay, but join the YouTube channel so that you can watch some of the most recent videos. I do cover quite a lot of nice things, etc. Okay, and I hope to see you in my lesson. Okay, try to get the due before 30th of October. Don't last minute rush. All right. Okay, any other questions? If not, I'll end the session here. You will get a replay tomorrow. Okay, no other question. Let me just check for those in YouTube whether you do have any question. Okay, no question from YouTube. Okay, if no other questions, I hope to see you in my course. All right, if there's any questions, you can write to us in WhatsApp or in email also can. All right, thanks a lot, and I see you. Bye bye.